Okay, it's lunch break. We've just managed to turn up to 5204, our boat, and see it. And we've got the other 52s there as well. There's the hatch for the life raft. And our escape hatches now being installed. This opens up like last video, opens down and the bow thruster comes out, which is cool. So just got aboard 5204, do a quick walk around the deck. All the solar is on now. So we're just looking at the trampolines at the moment, and I didn't understand that there were two different options or two different ways they could do the trampolines. On the port side we've got Dyneema, and on the starboard side at the moment we've got polyester, and they're just temporary, but it's a great example. If you look at the Dyneema, and I'll go stand on it, the Dyneema is really stiff and the polyester is not as stiff. So it's going to be more comfy to lay on, and if you want to laze in the sun on it, it's going to be great. For me, I really like the super stiff feeling, because if I have to run across the deck to do work on the deck, I think it's going to just be a better option. This is more squishy versus that. Really stiff. Alright, up on deck now. Nav station's in. This is going to be a tiller that flops one way, flops the other. Oh, sorry, the steering wheel. It's going to flop one way and the other way. Cockpit. All the solar wiring going into the solar panels on the roof. And we've got all of the Genasun controllers. Nav station. Should be a pretty good view out. Go down. Forward cabin. Tech space. These are the beds that are, should pull down, might be a bit hard. That'll be the bunks. Fold them into the wall. Refrigeration gears in. Head. Starting to look like a proper head. And interesting how all these panels are going in. Big robe area. And going down the master hull. Interesting, they don't have the, oh, that gets the leather lined. that's the washing machine space. And then the forward head, where obviously the line drivers for the dagger boards. And that'll be the AC tech space in there. Sink. This is the washing machine that's in our boat. This has been something that's concerned me the whole time, are these rope tunnels, so the line tunnels that run through up here and then they run through to lead the ropes to the cockpit. And I've always been saying, how do we get our ropes through those if you break a line? And genius Simon came up with this idea, just putting a dinghy inspection pod over there, and then it's watertight and we can access it if we need to. Brilliant, win, yay. So this is some of the galley stuff, this is some of the galley details that Deb requested as a change, which was making the rubbish bin much bigger, which looks fantastic now. And then we've got little drawers, and then some quite big deep drawers, 2 of those, and then again another couple of little drawers here. And then this one, that opens up together and then has the big space underneath for the olive oil and those things. There's again another Deb request to be done, and then changing these drawers to be bigger drawers. And making that bigger. This is the current debate aboard as to how the TV lift works and how that hole gets filled in. This has turned into a serious meeting about how to do this. Up on the deck of 5202, having a look. This trampoline's unreal. This is what I thought I'm getting, hopefully what I am getting. And there's all the 44s. And then across there are that's our boat, there's the 52. I'm in the forward port bow of 5203, and there's the water maker equipment. And then that's right up in the bow of the locker. And then there's little securing points, which is pretty nice and neat too. I'm inside 5203 in the lazarette. Looking at different details of it, but look at that lighting inside the locker. That is the most crazy lighting. It's awesome. And I'm just trying to work on, if you get dribbles of water in here, how to keep your stuff inside here dry, and also questioning whether that's waterproof if the locker leaks. Just putting a cover over that possibly. This is some old school craftsmanship here with a plane, planing the planks. That's to make these wall panels that'll all get covered with material, but to make sure that they are exactly parallel and perfectly made. And this is all being handcrafted. He's fitting it, plane it a little bit more. I love that attention to detail. So this is the barbecue setup that's going on our boat, and I'm really happy with that. It's a little bit strange because when you're standing on steps. If I'm on the top step like this, then I'm sort of reaching across and I'm barbecuing on a diagonal, but I can reach easily, so it's no problem. And I think it looks quite good. Sitting in the fishing rod holder there, sitting level, and then we're going to have the power cable run through the back wall. If I go to the cockpit and I'm looking out, it doesn't mess with your eye line, you know, versus having a barbecue across here. I think we'll have more visual impact. I think this is really good. I'm happy with this. And we're now going to a full electric barbecue, which means we need no gas on board. And my experience with gas around the world is it's a total pain in the butt because every country has different gas bottles, different fittings, and we had to buy, I don't know, 5 or 6 different systems as we sailed around the world last time. That's the office building there that I'm in for all the meetings. And then way down there is where our boat is. This place is huge and it's pretty warm to be marching backwards and forwards many times a day, but fantastic, getting lots done. On HH5203, we were here to look at the steering wheel and how that all worked, but picked up a cool detail. I do like that. That's cool attention to detail. The finishes really are beautiful in the boat. There's another thing that's been, I think that's been added. I don't remember that before, but it's quite cool. We won't get that because we're the aft helm, but yeah, this boat's the closest to being finished and it's looking fantastic. Okay, so that's the wheel. We're testing that now, and I'll grab the camera, and then that's exactly where my eyes are right now, and my hands are on the steering wheel very comfortably. Okay, so now I'm sitting on that bit on this side, my bum's on there, my foot's on the steering wheel comfortably. I can bend my knee with my wheel, or I can even reach it quite comfortably, and I'm a short ass. And my visibility, I don't know if you can see that there, but that's at eye height. I've got fantastic visibility. I can see the corner of the boat. If you can see that there, that little post just there, that's the corner stanchion. And that's the opposite corner, and this side, without the white, you'd be able to see easily. And that's at my eye level, and I'm looking through almost the centre of those windows. So, and easily on the steering wheel. Now flop the wheel to the outside position, and hang on, put it to there. My hand's on the wheel. I'm just standing on the ground in front of the step. Comfortable position. And that's at my eye level. So I'm at about the same eye level as when I was sitting here. Pretty good. With my hand still on the wheel, and I can look down at the side of the dock and go, yep, I'm in the right spot, which seems great. Dagger boards galore. Not sure if these are, they must be 44 dagger boards, I think. Pretty massive. 44s all in build, and they're all on the right, and then on the left we've got the 52s and a 52 at the far end. That's one of the 44s. What a wild colour. Amazing. So just looking at the engine room, this is on 5203, and what I'd noticed on 5202 at sea was that I was concerned about this being able to come down on you when the mattress is sitting on top of it, that it could come down on you at sea. And so we're talking about adding some sort of strut here that's like a safety strut that you can use or not use, but if you're worried about it coming down on you, you can put it out to make the engine lift safer. But the access here is actually quite impressive. It's interesting, one of the concerns I've always had with Paul leaving was that it'd be I don't know, harder to get changes or details sorted, and what it's actually turning out to be is a whole lot, I'm finding it a lot easier to get things through, that I think will make all the boats better, I think, which I'm pleasantly surprised by, shall I say. It's been a really great trip, this one. I love these details. The carbon fibre rails to hang your clothes, fitting clothes hanger. That's cool. I'm in the forward cabin of 5203 and been trying to check where you change or if you've got to pull out the speed impeller and clean it, and it's there. So that looks actually pretty good, pretty easy access. Interesting here, I've just learned that that's the speed impeller, but then that's also the depth sounder next to it, and they're all in the one unit, which seems pretty clever, I guess. This is our nav station, and we're going to have the VHF radio there. That'll be a switch panel for quick to access switches, which are going to have different modes, which I'm quite happy about now, much more sensible. That'll be the stereo, or they might be actually the other way around. That might be stereo, and then that one's the light switches. That'll be the C zone. That'll be the 16-inch chart plotter there. That'll be the water maker, and that'll be an autopilot control as a separate control, so you can sit here and sort of, that's at about seat height, and you'll be on watch looking out, sitting in a nice comfy office chair. Seems quite good. Oh, and then the other thing I've done is keep a space here where we could then mount an iPad if we want to. Okay, amongst my comments, at the nav station there's buttons which are quick to access, and we're now changing those to be all off, aboard, anchored, ashore, night sailing, night motoring, deck lights, and shore power. I think they're all the things that you're going to want to access quickly, which should be much better with lots of great help here. So this is where the Jenica pad eye is going for the Jenica block. It'll then lead it to the winch, and that's been changed, the orientation, but it looks like it's actually happening, which is fantastic. Interestingly, when we were at the Cairn Boat Show looking at boats, one of Deb's major concerns was that there just wasn't enough storage for food and those sort of things that you need all the time, and we eat brilliantly at sea. On this, we've got drawers, a full bank of drawers, big storage space there. This is just in the main saloon area. We've got this, big drawers here. We've got a bank of drawers there. We've got that bank of drawers in the island. We've got another big drawer down there. That bank of drawers, 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 drawers. A really big rubbish bin, which has access through the top. I think this is going to work very well for us. I'm super happy with that. One of the things I was also pushing for was red lights in the galley, so you can make a cup of tea or cook a meal while you're at sea underway. And what we've got to is that light there, which is straight above the cooktop, and that light there, which is straight above the sink. They're going to be able to go red or white. And then we're going to have a switch over here, which is just a red light only. So when you're at sea, you go flick and you don't accidentally turn a white light on and destroy your night vision. I think, again, for a round the world sort of boat, I think that's awesome. I think this is some interesting design in the galley under the sink, where there's plumbing and so on, but they've actually talked about maximising space here, and that's to give space underneath for the sink plumbing. So you've got the same for that drawer, and then you've got the same for this drawer, which is, I think, some really nice, clever utilising of space. I think also another factor that's been interesting this trip versus previous trips is that there's so many more boats, and the fact that there are HH52s in the water, and there are 52s here in the factory that are ahead of ours and behind ours, which means you can actually get on and look at things, which has made it much, much easier to start visualising and seeing things, which in turn means that, our boat will be, I think, better than the boats behind us, and the boats that are after us will be a little bit better than our boat. Out for dinner with the team. Yay! All right, we're finally going now. It's been an amazing trip. Lots of help. My superstars of Linda and Michelle looking after me. It's been brilliant. After leaving HH, I was off to the next factory to see how the dinghy business was progressing. I don't know what boat number we're up to now on rebuilding these, but this is the current leader. We've got one over there, another one here, and we're now just refining this a little bit further on what we can do to make it even better than it is.